Welcome to the Pain Truth program. Let's talk about self-judgment. The truth that many people never understand until it is too late is that the more you try to avoid suffering, the more you suffer. Thomas Merton. The degree of suffering is associated with the difference between who we think we should be and who we think we are. Rachel Dunnan. Most of us have this idea of perfection and what we ultimately wish we were. It's natural and normal to want things to change, and we certainly want change for the positive. In a moment, you'll be asked to pause this video and go to the section called Self-judgement in your Pain Truth workbook. The first box is titled, Idea of Perfection, What I Should Be. You'll be asked to check all the words that describe what you think you should be. Only do the first box for now. It'll take less than a minute. Go ahead, pause the video and complete this with your Pain Truth certified therapist. There's no point in watching this video any further if you're not able to do the writing exercises at this time. Simply get back to the video later when you have your Pain Truth workbook at hand. Welcome back. In a moment, you'll complete the next box titled, Belief of Current Self, What I Am Now. Check all the words that best describe what you perceive you are now. It should take less than a minute. Go ahead, pause the video now. Welcome back. Now compare your answers in the first box to your answers in the second box. You need to realize that if you constantly self-judge and compare what you are now to what you should be, you're unlikely to feel at ease, joyful, or hopeful, but more likely to feel stressed, sad, and disappointed in yourself. If you always feel that you should be something better than you currently are, what you're going to get is frustration, disappointment, worry, or even anger. You probably will only get suffering. Go ahead, try it. Look at your answers in box 1 and compare them to your answers in box 2. The self-judgment process involves continuously comparing your current self to the idea of what you should be. Now pause the video again and complete the box titled Felt Sense of Judgment. Welcome back. When we have this overpowering idea of perfection and how we should be, the idea towers over us and judges who we are right now. There's nothing wrong or bad about setting goals for improvement. However, it can be emotionally exhausting if you're constantly judging your current self in a negative way by believing that the person you are now is just not good enough. It's believed by some that the negative self-judgment can be a motivator and help one make positive changes. Certainly that may be true in some cases like high-level athletes or CEOs, but if you have an existing hypersensitive nervous system and are coping with pain, negative self-judgment can work against you. Lack of self-acceptance doesn't usually bring individuals in pain greater motivation to positively change. In fact, it brings the opposite, such as hopelessness and reduced motivation, which only add to the stress on the nervous system. Now that you're aware that self-judgment only brings suffering, you have the power to make a conscious choice to focus on self-acceptance. If you catch yourself saying, I should be doing more, I should be something better, and I should be something different than what I am, just simply ask yourself, how does that make me feel? The nervous system is instinctively smart, and if it consciously realizes something is bringing you suffering, it will have you stop doing it. Similar to if you repeatedly put your hand on a hot stovetop, it will stop you from doing it. The secret is that you need to be consciously aware of the self-judgment. Only then can you focus on self-acceptance of who you are today and whatever lies tomorrow. You see, You may be pain-free tomorrow, or you may still have pain tomorrow. We really don't know what's going to happen in the future, but at this moment, you must be okay with either outcome. You may be able to move better tomorrow, or you may still not be able to move well tomorrow. We don't really know what is going to happen in the future, but at this moment, you must again be okay with both outcomes. If you're not okay with the potential outcome of yourself in the future, then you will certainly suffer today. The truth that people never understand until it's too late is that the more you try to avoid suffering, the more you suffer. Let's make a crazy analogy. I may die tomorrow, or I may not die tomorrow. I really don't know what's going to happen to me tomorrow, but at this moment, I have to be okay with both outcomes. My other option is to not be okay with my potential death in the future and constantly worry and fear it today. What would that fear and worry do to the quality of my life today? My stress hormone levels would be up. I would be on the lookout for every possible danger around me and fearful of my possible death. My nervous system would limit my activities as it wouldn't wish for me to participate in anything that may risk injuring or killing me. As you can imagine, my nervous system would become hypersensitive, fearing the potential of my unknown death tomorrow, and constantly feel it's in danger. Would you not agree that that would be a terrible way to live? If I genuinely feared and worried about the possibility of death at some point in my future, my quality of life today and every day would suffer as I would suffer. Would you not agree that the quality of life is much better when we are self-accepting of who we are today without comparing ourselves to who we may or may not be in the future? Go back to the Pain Truth workbook and complete this section, What I Now Know About Self-Judgment Review. If you disagree with some of the statements, it's perfectly okay. No one is forcing you to change your beliefs, as it has to come from within when you feel ready. So be honest. However, it's suggested that you read this review daily for this week and realize that your current beliefs are only bringing you suffering and feelings of frustration, worry, and fear, therefore delaying your recovery. When you truly agree with the concepts in this section and become accepting of your current self, it will be the greatest gift that you can possibly give to yourself. It's a sure way of feeling safety, therefore calming the nervous system, which is the ultimate goal. Since you're doing the Pain Truth program, you're definitely on the right path and moving forward into safety. Remember that the degree of suffering is associated with the difference between who we think we should be and who we think we are.